How's it? Today's Monday, January 18th. It's a snatch day, and I remembered how to not delete all the videos, so I got all of the footage from today. Last week, I ended up deleting all the important stuff, so I deleted all my block power snatches, all my RDLs, and then half of the warm-up sets for the snatch push press. But last week, I ended up hitting 70 for 5 sets of 4 for the block power snatch. And this week I kind of gave myself a range of 73 to 75 for my progression, but I chose 73 for the first set, and I thought that was a good place to cut it at. Um, so yeah, that's what I did for all 5 sets, and that reason for that range was because Steve actually hadn't reached out to me. I told him that I'm going to be lifting in the morning, like last night. I told him that, but he didn't get back to me. So like that's fine. I'm basically like the way it works is I have a choice of whether or not I want to do what he says, and ultimately like I end up choosing what he says most of the time, like 99% of the time. And so, but just having the ability to choose is like I can realistically choose how I want to progress every day. Here's my first working set. I am working a lot better at maintaining my chest over the bar at the start position. And I think that the height of the blocks do help a lot. So last week I actually wasn't able to get the usage out of these taller blocks. What happened was that he made the blocks. I think it was on Wednesday, or was it on Tuesday? He brought them in, and so that Monday I didn't have a chance to use them. But it is what it is, and I'm happy that I'm able to use them now. But yeah, I actually ended up missing one of these snatches. It was the last one on the last set, and I redid it, but it was the last one on the last set, and it was just this weird thing where I was a little bit behind the bar, and I didn't extend properly, so I ended up going down to catch it like it was a full snatch, but it was a little bit out front, so I just dumped it, and then I reattempted for the final rep. Overall, I'm like pretty happy with how that's turning out. So yeah, there's two things I'm working on. So that first one I mentioned was staying over the bar at the start position, and the second thing is as I get to my hip, I'm doing my best not to throw my hips forward. I'm just trying to extend my legs, and then if any amount of hip extension that I get, it's going to be not from my hip actually extending, but from my shoulders going backwards, if that makes sense. And generally speaking, that's what makes the bar go in a straighter trajectory versus going out. So here's the fail right here. A little bit out in front, and then yeah, pretty much I couldn't save it, so I just dropped it, and I regripped and reset, and yeah. So I did hit the total of those 20 reps altogether. I had 21 attempts to do it, but pretty good overall, I think. Especially when you think about how I've actually never had extensive practice on pulls from blocks in any situation. So it's nice to know that I am making some amount of progress. I think realistically, if I were to do or hang powers at 73, I wouldn't be able to do 4, and I definitely wouldn't be able to do 5 sets of 4. So there's some progress there. Here are my Snatch Romanian deadlifts. These are probably some of the things that I think I get the most out of because I'm a weak lifter that relies a lot on my technique, and if I can gain some amount of posterior chain strength, so my hamstrings, my lower back, my glutes, and then my upper back, those things will help me tremendously. So here, so basically what this is helping me do, aside from the posterior chain stuff, obviously, is get a little bit of shoulder extension so that I'm pulling the bar into my body so that it doesn't like stray away, so that I can maintain my positions. And that, I think, is what makes this exercise a little bit more difficult than just the hamstrings and the lower back. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress I'm making. I think that these are not super easy, but they're definitely still doable. My my range of motion is not as high as it is for, say, 80, which is where I started with 2 weeks ago, obviously. But maybe one day I'll be able to do RDLs at this weight. Um, but yeah, pretty happy with this. Here's my last set. I didn't realize how many like working sets and how much footage I used until I put the video together, this video together. It's quite a lot of stuff, especially because I sped up a lot of stuff too. So after that, I moved into my push press plus the overhead squat. Last week I did 85 for a 5+1, but actually ended up failing the first overhead squat. So I did 2 sets of 5 for the snatch push press last week at 85, and then one of them had an overhead squat at the end. So I wanted to do my best today to not let that happen again. And I I did exactly. My goal was to just do those 5 push presses really well, and then do my overhead squat really stably. That's strange strange word that I just came up with. But yep, so here's my last warm-up set. So Steve mentioned a couple weeks ago, right when I started this training cycle, to do 3+2s as my warm-up, and then the last one be a 5+1. So here it is. Recently, I've become obsessed with using the competition collars because I think that they make a big difference in the way the weight feels on my back, and I think I think they're really nice. So I'm probably gonna continue to use them until either Khalil tells me to stop using them, or till I leave. So after that push press plus the overhead squat complex thing, I am doing my pull-up pyramid. So the high volume pull-ups would be on the Monday, and then the high intensity pull-ups are going to be on the Fridays. So today I pyramided up to 7 and then back down to 1, so that's like a total of 56 reps. I had the goal of doing 8, but I wasn't gonna get 8 for a single set, so how could I have done 8 for 2 sets plus going back all the way down? If I did 8, that would have been 72 total reps, and that's a ton of total reps. What my goal is basically to just rest like about 30 seconds or so in between each set, and if I rested longer than that, I think I would be able to do more reps and then obviously more sets, but that would take way longer, and I don't know how good, like, relative how much progress that would give me. And here's me going back down to 1. You can see how much I struggle with these. Yeah, I'm not even pulling straight up. And then yeah, I'm just like walking around thinking about my life, why I'm doing this, how did I get here, my forearms hurt, I can't pull, my rear delts are starting to hurt, I don't know what's going on. And you see Mike over there just being a monster that he is. But yeah, I have one more rep here. And yeah, pretty much this is how I feel. Oop. Yeah, I'm over it. And to finish off, I did some GHC sit-ups. I figured out the best way to set this up. So this set was really bad on my hip flexors because the legs are a little bit too far. So if I can pull them in next time, I'll figure that out a little bit better. But yeah, pretty good morning workout today. Didn't delete the video, so that's a positive. Yeah, thank you for watching. Shoots.